it's Mrs. Dunn here with your third computing lesson. Today we are going to continue our learning journey about editing photographs. Remember, we use paint.net to edit the photographs, but you can use any software that you've got at home if you're not able to access that. So today we're going to think about changing images for different uses. We're going to think about how an image can be changed using adjustments. We're thinking about the colour of the image. We're going to think about how this can change an image to fit a different scenario, and we're going to be able to explain why we chose the adjustment we have and the effect it has. So on the screen there are some images, and what I'd like you to do is think about how those images are different. And I'd like you to think of an adjective that describes each of the images. Pause the video now and think of your adjective, please. Okay, so I'm going to start with this top left-hand corner image. So they're all of the same forest, but there have been different effects used and different adjustments made to each of the picture to change it. So the first one I think looks really welcoming. It makes me want to go to that forest. The second one over in the top right hand corner looks scary or frightening. I'm not sure I want to go to that forest. It looks very dark and gloomy. This one here, I'm going to say ancient. Because of the colours, it makes me feel like it's a very old forest. And then this one here, I'm going to say sunny, because the sun is beaming through those trees and it's looking very welcoming. So the same image but 4 different effects. Now we've got 2 images of Little Red Riding Hood. They're not the same image, they're different images. What effect do the differences have? Pause the video and come back to me when you're ready. Okay, so the big difference between these 2 images are, I think, the time of day. So in that first image we've got Little Red Riding Hood in the daytime wandering through the forest. The second image is very dark, which suggests to me it's night time, and straight away as I'm looking at that image it makes me feel more frightened. There are very few colours that I can see in that second image. I can't even tell that it's Little Red Riding Hood very easily because I can't see that lovely red cloak of hers. Now I've got 3 images here. They're the same image, but again they've been changed. There have been adjustments made. So pause the video and just see if you can spot what has changed. Okay, so the first image we've got lovely bright colours. It's a really colourful image. We can see the green trees, we can see the colours on the building, we can see the lovely blue sky. That second image has got a very dark area around the outside. That makes me zoom in and really focus on that building. And then the final building has been changed to black and white. And these are some of the things that we're going to play with today. So on the screen now you can see 6 different images. They are the same image but they've been edited. They've been edited according to their colour and different effects. So the top left hand corner is the original image. So you can see the bridge in the forest. The second image has been changed to black and white. This image here has had the brightness and the contrast effect changed. So they've used a tool where they've slid a little slider to make the brightness different and the contrast, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. Then the hue and saturation, you can see the colours are very different, and again that's done on a sliding tool which I'll show you in a moment. Then we've got sepia, the bottom middle one. That's where the image, rather than black and white, it's changed to browns and creams. And then the final image in the bottom right hand corner is called Vignette, and that's where we have a very dark area surrounding just part of the image, and that's another skill that I'm going to show you today. So what I'm going to do is just come out of the PowerPoint now, and I'm going to open my paint.net. Okay, and I've used Pixabay from last week, if you remember how I showed you how to find an image, and I found this beautiful seaside image. I have saved this image onto the Teams area if you want to use the same as me. If not, you can maybe use a picture you've already got saved onto your computer, maybe of a place you've been, or you can find one on Pixabay like I showed you how to do last week. It's entirely up to you, but I'd like you to find a picture that is a sort of landscape picture, so it shows a place rather than a person. So I've imported my coastal picture into paint.net, and the main bar tab today that I'm going to be using is this adjustments one. So when I click on it, I get lots of different options, and some of them are the words that we've already looked at today. So black and white, brightness and contrast, hue and saturation, and sepia. Okay. I will show you the vignette one in a moment, that's just in a different tab. So this is my original image, okay, and I'm going to go to adjustments and I'm going to make my image black and white, and to do that I'm simply going to click black and white and it does it for me. And then if I wanted to save that, I could save it or I could print it. I don't need to do that at the moment. I want to get back to my original image, so I'm just going to undo, because today I'm just exploring what these tools do. So I'm going to go back to adjustments and I'm going to click on sepia. And remember, this is the one that changes the image to browns and creams. So again, it was just one click and it's an instant change to my image. I'm going to undo. Now I'm going to go to my brightness and my contrast, and if you remember I said that there was going to be little sliding toolbars for this, so I'm going to just move the toolbar so you can see really clearly what's happening to my image. So I'm going to look at brightness to start with, and I'm going to lower the brightness. Can you see what's happening to my image? So it's getting darker and darker. But then, if I go the other way, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Okay, I'm going to put that back in the middle, so it's sort of original. Then I'm going to look at my contrast. Okay, it's going very black and white, very thick lines, and then right the way down, so I can't really see my picture at all. So that's changing the brightness and the contrast, and I'm going to then undo so that I'm back to my original image. The other one that I want to show you is the hue and the saturation. So it's the hue bar here, and when you change the hue, it changes all the different tones of the colours. So I'm going to move my toolbar again so you can see what's happening. So as I slide the toolbar to the left, look what's happening. It's picking up lots of pinks and reds, and it's going to greens and purples and blues and then oranges. And then if I go the other way, it's changing the colours again. Okay, so you can have a little play around with that, see what effects you have. Okay, and obviously this really changes the look of the image. Back to the sort of centre for that one. And then I'm looking at the saturation. So again, look really closely. So I'm going very black and white, and then I'm going the other way. And I'm going really makes those colours stand out, okay? So I'm reducing the pigments in the colours by going this way, and then I'm going to add the pigments back in, and it's going this way. So very bright colours. So have a go at those tools as well. The final thing was the vignette. So you need to go to effects for that one, down to photo, and then it's there at the bottom. Okay, and already you can see that I've got some effect on my picture. Okay, but I can change where the vignette is. Okay, so you can have a little play around with that as well and see what different effects you have. Okay, and the density. So just have a go with those sliding toolbars as well, and I'm going to undo to get back to my original image. So that is what you're going to do today. Remember, you can use an image that you've already got, you can use my image, or you can find your own image. If you haven't got access to paint.net, not a problem, you can use any photo editing software that you might have on your computer. At the end of the lesson today, Year 4, I'd like you to think about how confident you are. Can you talk to someone at home about the changes you've made? Can you use those keywords, the sepia, the black and the white, the saturation, the vignette? Can you explain what those effects do? Can you give your picture a scenario? So can you make your picture happen on a bright sunny day? Could you make your picture look like it's at night time? And can you explain why you chose that adjustment to fit that scenario? Enjoy your lesson, Year 4. Enjoy changing your images, and I will see you next time.